the entrance announcement go for the med school?
I'm sorry, I didn't get in.
What? You're kidding! You failed to get into any of the private schools, so I was hoping that you'd get into a national university! How do you even fail all of them?
You don't have to say it like that. I tried my best.
I was hoping you'd get in after your brother failed, not to find out that you also failed. I'm truly disappointed in you. Oh, but you still have the late entrance exams, right?
I'm not taking it. I can't try harder than I already have.
You can't give up so easily.
Getting into med school isn't all there is in my life.
Who's going to carry on your father's hospital then?
Was I born just to carry on Dad's hospital?
That's right, and that's why I paid your tuition for the prep school too.
Are you asking me to pay it back then?
Sure, you're going to pay us back.
Okay, I'll pay back after I get a job, but I'll make sure I pay you back.
Ugh, I was disappointed when your brother failed to get into med school. And you ended up failing too. I can't take this anymore.
But my brother enjoys his job.
I never spent money on my children's education just to make you guys an ordinary office worker.
You've been pointing fingers at my brother too, and I hated watching you do that. You never acknowledged his hard work. You only talked down on him. You don't even know how it feels to go through college entrance exams because you've never been to college.
Women never went to college back in my day. You don't even know what it's like to be cornered around by a mother-in-law after failing to have a boy.
I understand that you've gone through a lot, but that gives you more reason to emotionally support me and my brother.
I can't. Not right now. I'm so frustrated.
Will you please let Dad know about this too? I'm going to stay over at my friend's house tonight.
I'm sure he'll be more upset than I am. If he ends up passing out because of high blood pressure, you're the one to blame.
I'm honestly so relieved that I failed to get into a med school.
Huh? You didn't even get in! Stop acting tough!
No, I mean, if I wasn't going to be a doctor, I won't have to deal with you any longer, right? Just like how you did to my brother, I'm sure you're going to avoid me too.
Sure, I won't deal with you any longer. I don't want to even see my failing children.
I can't believe you would say that to your children. No matter how many years it takes, I'll pay you back the tuition for my prep school. I'm ashamed that I couldn't keep up with your expectations after all the care you've taken of me.
Aren't you willing to apologize?
I didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing for me to apologize for. I'll be getting a job after my high school graduation. I'll be moving out of our house soon. Thank you for everything.
Do what since it was from a daughter who chose to leave our house to become a veterinarian. I blocked your calls and texts.
I knew it. I can't believe you were so mad to the point where you'd block your daughter and your son for 10 years.
Well, I couldn't get over my anger no matter how many times I thought about it, and I couldn't forgive you guys.
Do you feel better after 10 years?
I'm still frustrated, but I have up because being angry won't change anything.
I wish you knew that 10 years ago.
So, how is it? Do you get decent income by spaying and neutering dogs and cats?
That's not all I do for my job. I go out for rescue too, and I've been busy every day.
Ah, that sounds just like you. I knew you'd be doing things that won't help your income.
I get to do whatever I want. I'm proud of my job as a veterinarian.
You should consider yourself a doctor only after saving people's lives.
You're still saying that. If that's what you're reaching out to me about, please don't talk to me again.
No, I was just curious about what you'll be up to.
I'm just going to continue working as a veterinarian.
Are you still living with your brother?
Not anymore. He got married last year.
I heard. He's such a disgrace to our family, not even hosting a wedding.
His wife was pregnant, so they'll have a wedding after things settle down. You don't have to say it like that.
So, did they get married because she was pregnant? They're not keeping it in the right order. They're like dogs and cats.
You've become even worse in the past 10 years.
Does that mean you're not married yet? You're already past 28, right?
I'm busy with work, and I don't have the time for that. I don't really care because you treated me like a stranger for over 10 years already, but you're just so stern about it, choosing not to attend my wedding.
Your father also says that you should do whatever you want.
I see. Okay, you guys don't have to come. I wish you had told me a lot sooner, though. We have our wedding arrangements, and I can't believe you're canceling so last minute.
If you insist so badly, we don't mind going right now. Let's see. For both of our appearance fees, it's going to cost you about $20,000.
What are you even saying?
I mean, you would look bad if your parents aren't there, right? I'm sure you're going to be embarrassed during toasting speeches, too.
I'll have Trevor and his wife take care of it. I've never heard of someone demanding for a gift when they're supposed to be giving me a wedding gift.
Well, I can't stand being at your wedding unless I get paid for it.
But I chose not to tell you.
Why not?
I didn't want to let my husband see my parents. If they only knew to judge people based on whether they're doctors or not.
This is a completely different story at this point. You need to let us meet our son-in-law. We should go have dinner tomorrow.
I refuse with everything I got.
We need him to take over our hospital while your father is still well.
Are you understanding this whole situation? He came back in country to inherit Theatrical General Hospital.
So, just have our hospital merge with their company so we'd belong in the same group of hospitals.
Look, I don't really want to say this after you've raised me carefree. And I understand how amazing it is to establish and sustain a hospital, but I don't really know if you should be making such a huge deal about your heir when you're just a small internal medicine clinic.
What?
The clinic has been deteriorating, and I heard you guys don't even get too many patients because the facility is getting worn out. You can't even hire a part-time physician, right?
Who told you that?
My friends still live in my hometown, so I hear all about it. You guys are both old, so maybe you should close your business. If you ever end up getting sued for medical errors, you could end up in huge trouble.
Your father was the smartest talent in our hometown.
You're just clinging on to his past glory. If you're going to talk about that, my husband was a renowned surgeon in the country he lived in.
What? Really?
He's operated multiple surgeries for VIP patients. But he came back in country because he wanted to repay the favor for his beloved parents.
What a wonderful son! If he's so wonderful, perhaps he'll love us too.
His wife, who would be me, doesn't even love you guys. That's not happening.
How dare you say that?
You guys never loved your children either.
That's not true. We loved you, and that's why we were so strict on you guys.
If we get good grades in school, we were good kids. If not, we were worthless. We never felt loved when you were judging us, as you would praise and insult us based on how we did in school. I'm surprised that neither Trevor or I ended up taking the wrong path in youth.
I don't care about Trevor. I've always made an exception about you. I'm being honest. You have to trust me.
Are you sure you don't care about Trevor?
Of course. I can't regret enough that I ever gave birth to him.
Trevor got a medical license.
What?
He's been saving enough money to go to med school while he was working full-time. It took such a long time because he paid my tuition at one point. But since I paid him back and his wife's parents gave him support, he was able to obtain a medical license.
You're lying.
He's currently a medical resident at my husband's hospital.
What's going on? I don't get this.
Trevor's wife has a family of doctors who run a large hospital too.
Did he say?
He said if my parents weren't showing up, he might as well come by to greet you guys directly.
What is that supposed to mean?
I wasn't sure what he meant at the time, so I just told him that he didn't have to do that. Now that I think about it, maybe he planned on giving a lecture to his junior, who chose not to show up for his daughter's wedding.
Oh my! We should have gone to your wedding if only we knew this were to happen!
Of course, he wouldn't have appreciated you guys. You guys didn't even care to greet him until the wedding, not to mention that you ditched it altogether at the end.
Your father is saying that he wants a divorce from a woman like me. I need you to do something about this.
Oh, I don't know. You did this to yourself.
He says that the hospital business is failing and our children ended up leaving us. All because of me. Don't you think it's ridiculous?
I believe Dad is partially responsible, though. He's been making you say everything he struggled to say while he was hiding behind your back.
That's right. You should tell him that.
No, I don't really care, and I don't want myself involved.
But your mother is in trouble.
Mother? Who?
Who else aside from me?
Are you saying that I should consider you my mother after choosing to treat me coldly just because I couldn't become a doctor? Oh, I had no idea.
Well, I know I was in the wrong.
You can't apologize the moment you're in trouble.
I've been living as the wife of a doctor for many decades until now. I've always gotten what I wanted. I can't possibly live on my own at this point of my life.
I'm sure you get some Social Security income. You could live off of that. And I can't pretend as if they're my parents at this point.
I don't plan on getting close to either of them either. I don't want to deal with them ever again.
A lot has happened ever since our college entrance exams.
Seriously, time flies.
There's something I need to apologize to you, though, about how I lied that you've become a doctor.
Jeez, you should have told me in advance. Dad asked about it and I got flustered because I had no idea what he was talking about.
I'm sorry, but I wanted to make Mom regret things even more.
It's true that my wife's from a family of doctors, but I'm just an admin director.
But that's still great, and it was kind of your parents to have blessed your marriage.
They said they're not all about the heir. All they wanted was their daughter to stay happy. So I'm going to spend my life doing whatever it takes to keep my in-laws and my wife happy.
My in-laws are wonderful people, too. Maybe God blessed us with this gift because we weren't fortunate to have the best parents.
You're right, and I like that.
I guess I'll also appreciate God for blessing me with a decently kind brother, too.
Hey, why do you have to say it like that?
I'm sorry, but thanks to you, I'm here where I am today. I really appreciate you, and I'll do whatever it takes to repay this favor.
Come massage my back, then.
No problem at all. After being all alone, my mother moved into a cheap apartment without a shower room. Well, she tries her best to make herself look nice as she continues to pretend that she's a doctor's wife. But everyone already knows that she's lying because rumors were quick to spread. There was no way she could afford a $300 lunch anymore. She's become a lot more tamed, and I heard she spends most of her days inside her apartment looking back on the old days. My father ended up causing multiple medical errors, and he ended up getting sued by his patients. Needless to say, no one wanted to visit his hospital, and he shut down the business within a year after the divorce. The tiny clinic that the two of them insisted on finding an heir had ended up shutting down. I understand the desire to have someone inherit their treasure. But just because that desire isn't fulfilled, it's wrong to negate someone's personality or to cut ties with them. And I, out of all people, can say that for sure. Both my brother and I had children, but we want our children to have all the freedom in their lives. This is the biggest wish that I have at this time. Last month, me, my brother, my in-laws, my brother's in-laws, and our partners all went out for a nice dinner. Moving forward, I want to cherish my new family as I express love and care for them.